Dear audience, welcome to the show POWERchat. In today's episode, we will be discussing about the state of journalism and media education in Nepal. Joining us today is Dr. Manju Mishra, founder chairperson of the College of Journalism and Mass Communication, providing journalism and media education in Nepal. Please allow me to welcome her. Welcome to the show,
Thank
Dr.
you so much. Thank you so much. Yes.
How have you been?
Thank you. I'm fine.
Well, you have been in the field of journalism and media education, establishing a college.
Yes.
Returning from Russia
Yes.
long ago. How do you observe the state of journalism and media education in Nepal as such?
As such, if you want to answer me directly about the journalism and media education in the country, I am rather disappointed being the principal founder of only media college in the country. I have had an opportunity to see how the journalism students study and what they want. There is a big difference and gap between what they want and how they want to study. So, while talking about the recent trends, I would better say that the journalism education in the country is going down. It is not so much charming. I don't see charm in this education. I mean, students just come to study or to get degree, to get promoted. I see there is no charm. But if I compare to 10-15 years back, I saw there was a huge craze in journalism education in the country. Students from around the country, from east to west, south to north, they contacted me to study. They were very regular. They were so sincere. They attended all the exams. They gave all midterms. They studied very hard, and they were so serious to the education they were provided by the college. But these days, unfortunately, I have to say the truth, because it is not hidden from anybody. None of the colleges are in Nepal able to provide quality journalism education to the young students of this country.
Dr. Mishra, what are the gaps can you figure out, and how can they be addressed in relation to journalism education and the industry demands of Nepal?
Yes. If we just compare the industry demand and the journalism education, the industry is growing. It is blooming. As you see, there are more than 25 TV channels in the country, dozens
in
of
operation.
YouTube, yes, in operation. Still 100 are waiting to be broadcasted. There are more than 700 FM stations registered, whereas more than 500 are aired. So you see, the demand is growing day by day. I mean, these FM stations and TV channel need professional journalists to get quality news, to just inform the audience, and to have a let me say, to really be professional. They need highly qualified journalists. But what is happening is the industry is growing up, and the media education as such is going down, because this industry don't provide handsome salary to the journalists. You know, what is happening in the recent days is journalists have some missions. They are either mission oriented or business oriented, or they have yellow journalism. There is yellow journalism in the country. You know, there are so many trends developed that the journalists are not able to give the voice of ordinary people to the voiceless people.
So these are the problems faced in media industry as such. What are the gaps from the academic side?
From the academic
the university
side,
locations.
Okay. Yes, you just put a very good question, which I really feel. You know, there is a huge gap these days from the university side, because from the university side, we must say that we are not able to give a quality education, because the journalists don't get handsome salary, so they cannot pay. They are not able to pay us handsome monthly, let me say, allowance for their studies, monthly fee for their study. And what happens that if it depends, the quality depends upon the fees of the student, how much they pay. You understand me? It is correlated. You cannot put them separately. You cannot break them up, because the industry get low payment from the media industry, and they just pay low to the colleges. So how can you just expect good quality education from such colleges or universities? Let me not talk about some universities who are really giving excellent education, but most of the universities and affiliated colleges are bound to just continue the journalism education for its continuation. You understand me what I mean? Because they are not able to give deliver quality education, because it depends upon the number of students, it depends upon how much they pay, it depends upon how much the college pays to the faculty. So they are all interlinked. So the present situation, scenario of journalism education in this country shows that they are not able to deliver quality education. We have to confess this, because you take little, you give little, and you manage to get the same standard of the faculties to teach in their college or schools or whatever organizations or so on. So it is very depressing from my side to see how the journalism education is going down. But in spite of how it is going down, still there are some sides, signals you can be satisfied, because
what are the areas that one can satisfy himself or herself in this field?
How you can be satisfied is when I see my students pursuing PhD in different universities, when I see my students holding powerful positions in media industry, when I see my students being editors, sub-editors in the news, daily, weekly newspapers. This makes me satisfied. But still, to be very honest, being an editor, being in a powerful position, being the country director, communication officers, and being a real academician are somewhat different.
Well, Dr. Mishra, I will come back to you on industry and academics collaboration and challenges in between. I would like to ask you a question on your entry to the academics. You were among very few Nepalese scholars doing their PhDs 2 decades back.
Yes.
So what
almost
motivated
3 decades? Yes.
What motivated you to start a college, and do you think that along these years your efforts have been materialized?
Oh, okay. When you want to start something that is very challenging to the society and challenging especially to a female, you need to have a commitment, you need to have dedication. And if you have commitment, dedication and vision, that leads you to success. This is my own personal observation. Because when I came to media education and started the College of Journalism and Mass Communication, it was about 18 years before. And I just returned from Russia because, I had an opportunity to study in Patis Lumumba University in Moscow, and I completed my master's in journalism. Being a gold medalist, I was awarded PhD fellowship in the same university. So I had an opportunity to do PhD in journalism and mass communication. But when I returned back to the country, I found that only one government college was teaching bachelor's level in journalism and mass communication. That really saddened me. So I thought that why, since 22 years, a government college is only teaching bachelor's level in mass communication and journalism, when there is a need of masters in mass communication and journalism. So I saw the demand and I saw the interest of the youth to study masters in mass communication and journalism. Thus, that was the something made me to run a college and establish a media college and start masters in mass communication and journalism. Today, this college is an entrepreneur in 5 areas of media education in the country, and I'm proud to say this through your television. And you said, as data speaks, the data speaks. It is not me speaking, it is the data, and it is the profile of CJMC that speaks that we are the entrepreneur in 5 different areas of media education.
Could you also shed light on the courses your college offers to the aspiring journalists or communicators?
Yes, we started first Masters in Mass Communication and Journalism, and the same year other universities and colleges started Masters in Mass Communication. In this particular subject, we teach SARC media, film studies, photography and videography, research methodology. In the same way, we started development communication, where we focused that our new students, upcoming students, should deliver the message of development in remote areas through communication. You understand what I mean? Through communication. Because if your communication skill is strong in villages and remote areas, these people can understand you better. They will not understand my English. They will not understand good literature in Nepali, but they can simply understand and cooperate to you if they understand your communication skill. You understand me? So through the means of communication, we wanted to use the development tools in remote areas and bring change in our society. So we started development communication. Then we started Bachelor's in Mass Communication and Journalism, which was a semester system, because we knew, and you know, that the government had only yearly system of journalism education in bachelor's level. So we started semester system. We started first college run FM station in the country to practice our students, where our students did practice and just had an opportunity to learn how to broadcast news, how to do reporting, how to give development news through the radio. You know, in the radio, CJMC FM 106 megahertz is the only educational radio in the country. We just started teaching tuition classes through the FM station, you know, like science, math, English, biology, all this, that helped the students to sit in their home and learn and answer to the difficult questions through our radio station. So we are pioneer in many areas of media education in the country. In master's level, in development communication, we introduced behavioral change, which is one of the very important aspects that our government and the NGOs and the INGOs in this country focus on. How the behavior change, how to bring the behavior change in the society, how to change the attitude of the people, illiterate people in grassroots level, in remote areas, how to bring change. We also just teach such subjects like also family planning, health issues, HIV AIDS. All these subjects are taught in development communication. Folk street drama, you know, this is a very fantastic subject, I think. And some of our students even prepared a radio drama 5 minutes and they aired in our radio station. So for last 17 years, CJMC has really achieved so many things challenging to the media education in this country, which was never ever expected. I can say this proudly because we were able to send 70 students, faculties, teachers, staff to different countries in Asia, Bangladesh, Pakistan, India, China, in Africa, Zambia, Tanzania, Ethiopia, Uganda, in different countries, in Norway, in other countries as well. So we are one of those very well recognized and internationally well known college to have such a huge partnership in the world, you know, with different media organizations, different media institutions, and it was headed by a single woman. Her initiative, her dedication, her sacrifice, which brought her so far, I mean, which brought the college so far that 70 students were benefited and 500 students are passed out of this college in spite of the dearth quality in media education in the country.
Dr. Mishra, these are really impressive figures that you have tried your best improving the situation of media and journalism education here in Nepal. You said that you faced a lot of problems being a female.
Yes.
Do you think that there is still, difficulties finding or starting, any work just because of the, gender?
No.
How difficult it
No.
was for you to start
I
or be in this field?
I actually think, like Disney said in USA, if you don't dream, you will not do it. So I am a dreamer. I always love to dream and face challenges in this society. If there is no challenge in life, I think life is not so interesting. Life does not become interesting without facing any challenges. So you should face challenge, you should achieve, you should dream, and you should hit what you want to do. So I think that not being a female but not dreaming, that has made you difficult to achieve anything. So I feel myself very much obliged to thank all my faculties and well-wishers, because most of them were male. It has been so easy for me to seek support from male rather than seek support from female. So regarding gender equality, it is your perception. If you are a male but you feel equal to women, the women always feels equal in front of you. But if you are a female and she is not supporting being a female to a female, then what is the use of being gender bias or gender discrimination when you talk? That is useless. That is just useless, because you have to, if you are really gender sensitive, you have to support your counter and you have to support your own female group. But here in my country, you see that female really don't want to support female, but female want to support male, male want to male support female. This is what I have seen, and I mostly, in most cases, supported by male. I thank for being a female, but being supported by male.
Well, Dr. Mishra, what are you dreaming at the moment? With reference to the initiative that you have started 18 years back. What next? What are you planning for the future so that you continue with your efforts that you started 18 years back in the areas of media and journalism education?
Okay, in the area of media and journalism education, what I again emphasize is any private colleges in this situation which we are facing now cannot exist long, except some government colleges, because government colleges are financed, but private colleges need to finance by themselves and depend upon the number of the students. So to bring the drastic change in journalism education in Nepal and to end the old schooling, I mean old schooling means the old teaching method, old syllabus that has not been revised for decades, not years but for decades. Old education means you don't introduce new media, multidisciplinary subjects. You don't introduce any subjects that is the demand of the 21st century, So to end the old schooling of education in Nepal and to bring the drastic change in journalism education, I am dreaming of a university, Communication University of Nepal, CU Nepal. That was registered in the Ministry of Education 14 years before. And I was the only female to apply in the Ministry of Education to appealing for a separate university. But I am not given so far. CJMC is not allowed. CJMC has no right to become a university because
why it's been pending for so long?
Because there is no government policy. Again, we have to come back to the government policy. If there is a government policy, if there is concrete government policy, there are something we can do by ourselves. But if there is no policy, I cannot declare the university by myself. But see, what I am planning to do is, my hands are tied up now. I am affiliated to Purvanchal University, which made Dr. Manju Mishra today. So I thank them personally. But it is not always thanking and sitting, being affiliated to the Purvanchal University. I want to bring drastic change, introduce multidisciplinary subjects like conflict management and peace building, masters in graphic and computer animation, masters in film studies, masters in photography and videography. Oh, so many new subjects, but my hands are tied up because if I want to introduce these subjects, I have to go back to Purvanchal University, again apply, wait for their decision, wait for the bureaucratic meetings, wait for the subject committee's approval. All these hurdles I don't want to face anymore. I want to create, I want to establish, I want to transform College of Journalism into a Communication University of Nepal, which gives me right fully to be an independent institution that will introduce many subjects according to the demand of the society, according to the demand of 21st century communication in the age of globalization. You know, it is very difficult for me to run any subject. You cannot have your exam in time, you cannot get result in time, the student don't get mark sheet in time, you want to change the subject, it is not done in time, there is no subject committee, the subject committee didn't pass the syllabus, you are lingering, you don't bring change, any change in the media education in the country.
Do you think that establishing a university in communication genre in Nepal would contribute towards the research culture of overall media and journalism education in Nepal? Very quickly.
Well, okay, I just want to wrap up. We have already the building, big building. I think this is the one of the biggest building, among the whole media education institutions in the country. This is one of the biggest building, having its own infrastructure, own radio. We have video cameras, digital cameras. We have huge equipments, large equipments, modern equipments that can be used by our students. So for being a university, nothing should stop us except the government that is lingering and does not give us approval. So in coming year, in November 8th, I'm going to declare the university establishment of Communication University in Nepal, and we'll run 2 subjects, then lobby for the government. Because you remember, don't forget to air this statement, because it is very important.
Very quickly,
yes, Radio Sagarmatha, the first community radio, aired before it got the government approval. Sankardev campus, affiliated to Tribhuvan University, started master's course before it got affiliation. So now I have no passions. I have lost everything. I have no desire to linger my life only only running this college. So my dream is to establish Communication University of Nepal, and I am sure the government leaders, political leaders of any party will encourage me to get the approval, give the approval, and make the dream of not only College of Journalism and Mass Communication successful, but also the dream of the entire Nepalese media educators and those who want to study media education and seek their degree in journalism and mass communication make true.
Well, Dr. Mishra, there are a lot of interesting issues, but we have come to the end of the show. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity and talk about the university, which is my dream of 14 years.
Dear audience, time now to wrap up the show. Keep watching us. See you next week. Namaste.